Ispani. I stand up, I get up, I'm getting more shona kona. Nakhuluza shokuluza focus, come on, be a go-getter. Shona kona, stay focused. Opportunities, you gotta grab this, you gotta fight with skills.
Phela wena usenze bahle phela thina sabantu abavela kumabona kude yabona ke hawu we live on air hamba sis hamba oh sanibonani lapha emakhaya and a salute to all my hustlers uyabona ke isiqephu sanamuhla sesipani ngithi sibalele ngempela njoba ke sina 90% chance of clarity ukuthi sazi ukuthi sifuna ukwenzani ngempilo zethu wena lapha ekhaya umuqegelile ukuthi sikhuluma ke ngomhlahlo wezulu noma ke izangoma zezulu uyabona mase usebenzisa ama bombastic babiza ukuthi ama meteorologists noma ke into ebizwa ukuthi ye-atmospheric science bafethu hayi ke uma ke sinyuka siya lapha ngaseLimpopo endaweni eshisayo sihlangana ke nentokazi yethu yena uRuth Mweti intokazi efuna ukwenza lo msebenzi namuhla ke unikezwe ithuba lokuthi ahambe ayozama ukwenza lo msebenzi khona manje unikezwe ithuba akahlangane naye simbuza ukuthi kungani akhethe ukwenza wona lo msebenzi ahlangane naye ngithi hey Name Ruth Mweti, age 21, education matric, tertiary qualification, Bachelor of Science, Environmental and Geographical Sciences and Oceanography, UCT. Former work experience, part-time cashier and call center agent.
Ruth Mweti, so much living in Limpopo. I passed grade 12 in 2008, and then from 2009 to 2012, University of Cape Town. First year, my main major meteorology, but then I got that much, and then got 2010 I changed to environmental science, the ocean and atmosphere science as a second major.
Ruth ga go lebele ngwana leng a hlalefile thata ga go lo sekolong from primary level a gona maileng a faila gona level ya gagwe be le go godimo o passitse ga botse go tloga primary secondary and then thuto tša gagwe di be di le go godimo ka tselema ka tša
was one of the best students. I would get angry if someone got higher marks than me. But yeah, it was fun. We had, as much as we didn't have the best school with all the equipment and stuff, we had very good teachers. Like they tried by all means to create the best education. And we worked hard as students to try help each other where we can. Growing up, I wanted to be a doctor, actually, like medical doctor.
Nna ga botse go go leng ga Ruth ke be ke nyaka gore a be doctor. Bjale ke ge motswadi mang le mang gona le ntho a ratang gore ngwana a be yona mo bophelong ba gagwe. So ge ntse a gola na e rata ntho gore a ka ba doctor mara at the end ke ena ile nga change career ga re no mama ke senga go ba doctor ka ba gona le dilo tse dintsi mo health and chain gore di a ntshosha.
You know, all guys could you don't know a lot about careers. So we all wanted to do that thing that we know, and then grade 12, that's when gave Lily experience, not experience, but knowledge, yeah, different careers, and then that's when I chose geology, the environmental science. Our teachers would read the prospectus to go to UT, and then that's why I saw the geology thing, and then I was like, no, I think I should change and do this thing.
Dithuto tša matšatšing a le gone rena bjale ka batswadi re fihla re sa kgone go ka dikwešiša mara go lebeletše ngwana e le gore ke ntho a e ratang ene a ikwešišang o šore gore o tla kgona go tšwela pele ebile o bone bokamoso ka mogare ga yona gore ka lengwe la matšatši e ka mo tšwela mogolo ya mo dira motho.
Now ke tlo ya go South African Weather Service to find out more about meteorology because mostly we do the theory part of it. So I'm hoping I'll get to know more on the practical side of the course and just have more knowledge on what goes into things such as weather forecasting. But obviously, like I said, it was more theory, not much practical. So I'm hoping South African Weather Service will teach me and show me how they do the whole process practically, like how it starts from observations, computer stuff, and to us being able to see the weather on TV and all that stuff. I just want to understand what really goes into. I know how they make those charts and stuff, but I want to understand how the whole process, how it goes from the observations, the physical stuff to the ones we see on TV.
Uyabona uRuth uyiphethe lento ngithi kungafika ivunge kungafika imvula lentokazi yohlala ihlezi iqhumini esithathile nethuba anikezwe lona kodwa ke sibone ukuthi icareer coach yethu le ana ekhaya usisipula ukuthi angabhula amathambo ayibone kanjani lentokazi ukuthi izoqhubha noma lo msebenzi uyamfonela sisipule are you there then it's back to you in studio no let's go to the studio
Re ya batseba re ba bona di television ka metla ha ditaba se di lo fela ke bona bo weatherman kapa bo weather women ba bang ba bona re ba bitsa di meteorologists ke batho ba ile gore ba batlisisa ha ba fetsa ba re hlalosetse gore seemo sa lehodimo se eme jwang ba bang ba rona re tshepetse go bona gore ba re jwetse gore re aparang ha letsatsi le hlaba empa le batho ba tsheka di aviation ba ba fufisang batho ba tshepetse go bona gore ba tsebe gore lehodimo le safe na gore ba ka kgona go fufisa batho similarly le batho ba agriculture lo wena ha ka ba ona le lerato la go batlisisa la go shebella dilo pele o rata mmetse le science industry ena e ka go khatla Ruth yena o sebeditse ka thata go fitla mo a leng teng ka jeno o ya itshepa o na le maikemisetso she's a go-getter and most importantly she's a hustler I mean my hustlers she went out there go lo hustler for mosebetsi le gore ha o balla so that gore a gone go iphidisa ka this hustling attitude e nang le yona le maikemisetso a gage I have no doubt gore ha ya mona South African Weather Service o tla gona go batlisisa a phete a re hlalosetse gore seemo sa lehodimo se eme jwang
Isimo selitulu sidlala inzima lebaleke kabi ekuqineni nasekuweni kwemnotho. Kubalimi kwade kahle hle isimo selitulu kusenesikhathi kubenda bakhona ukuhlela kahle itshalo tabo kunisela kanye nekuvuna uma isimo selitulu lesingesihle sisendleleni balimi bayakhona kunakekela kahle nemfuyo yabo. Emikhunjini nasetindizeni kuhlalwa kwesimo selitulu kubaleke kakhulu uma bafuna kuhlela luhambo. Kudla lokuhlandekile kusheshe konakale ngako ukuba nelwati lokungahle kube inkinga kubaleke kakhulu. Luhlelo lwesimo selitulu lusanda sikwadi kuhlela kahle kugcina umnotho wesive usesimeni. Imeteorologist ifundzele kusebenzisa indlela zesayensi kuchaza kucondzisisa kubuketa noma kuhlala kahle isimo selitulu nemazinga aso nekuthi lokho kungayikhinyabeta kanjani umhlaba lesiphila kuwo. Kufundzela lo msebenzi kutfola i-degree lephakeme ku-meteorology nesesayensi. Njengalo sebenza ngekuhlola isimo selitulu, kubalekile ukuthi ukwadi kuhlola kahle futhi ube nelibhange lapho khona ugcina khona lolo luhlolo lwakho lolwendile nalolutfolile. Uyatsingeka ukuthi futhi ube ngilonaka kahle tinfo, ube nesiciniseko, phindze ukwadi kusebenza ngekungalekelelwa ngumuntu. Bantfu labanyenti labajwayelekile kulolu hlangothi bahloli besimo selitulu labafundzele emakhozi eluhlolo kulomsebenzi njengesitifiketi lesisemthethweni seluhlolo lwesimo selitulu kanye nalothumela imilayeto yesimo selitulu nelilungiswa ngilabanye.
Uyazimena into engishoyo ukuthi ayikho into njengesimo sezulu esibi ukuthi nje abantu abaqoki mina ngiyisiqiniseko ukuthi ngiyambatha ngihlale ngiwo ngiyakutshela especially ke usona abangani abafana njengo Ruth abasola bakutshela ukuthi iweather ime kanjani yonke into yeah and then uyabona siyashutha lana wena uyadlula kwenzakalani sisi wami
it's a break
oh break hayi mamela ke ngiyakulandela nami ungiphathele babu ukuthi phuma ekhaya nani nizwele I break
Ispani.
Come rain or shine ngithi no matter the weather. Wena lapha ekhaya njengehasta nawe kumele uziqinise ukuthi uyayishintsha impilo yakho. Ngithi whether uyayithanda le career ye-weather sikhuluma namhlanje into ongayenza ukuthi ufunde kule ntokazi eqhamuka laphana eLimpopo uJoba ke afuna isikhundla njenge-meteorologist laphana enkampanini eyenza ke ebizwa ngokuthi i-South African Weather Services laphana. Le ntokazi ngiyakutshela ukuthi iyimisele inogqozi nofuqufuqu iyafuna ukuthola lo msebenzi khona manje uyohlangana nawo ke ama-meteorologist ngisho nawo ke ama-weather scientist khona laphana e-South African Weather Services njengoba bamkhombisa ukuthi umsebenzi ushawa kanjani akahlangana nentokazi sibone ukuthi uzoshaya ziphi. Mina into engiyazi ukuthi uma engena endaweni uyoshaya zikaMandoza alobothi thona namhlanje. You get the point though. Akesibone ukuthi intokazi isebenza kanjani.
Good morning. I'm Ginosi Machepa. I'm the head of corporate communications in South African Weather Service.
Good morning. My name is Tsepo Ngobeni. I'm the head of forecasting, responsible for all forecasting activities, starting with observation, ending with the forecasting. I'm also responsible for our regional offices that produces forecasting on a daily basis.
So your modules or your majors actually speak to what South African Weather Service is actually all about. But I'm going to give you just a brief background of what the organization is all about so that we of the same understanding. South African Weather Service as a parastatal, we are an entity of the Department of Water Affairs and Environmental Affairs. We are responsible for weather information for the country. We are the authoritative voice in terms of government managing the country. So we predict weather in a short, very short, medium and long term, which helps the country in making decisions in relations to climate change. So that in a nutshell, that's who we are. When as a person, what difference do you see yourself bringing go South African Weather Service le gore dithuto tsa gago ka go bereka ga go South African Weather Service o tlo go thusa yang the public ya South Africa understand the issues of weather.
Okay,
your main interest.
Okay, I think get back to where I'm from, Limpopo. I mean, it's a South African thing, or like Limpopo, it has problems, rainfall, and all these things, droughts and floods. So the reason I did this course, I wanted to take what I learned in school at work, hopefully, and take it back home, because I feel there's a need for people back in Limpopo to understand climate change. Like a lot of people rely on agricultural products, and if there's no rainfall or if there's floods, they don't understand what's going on. So I think if I work at the South African Weather Service, I can be of great use to them, and only to bring what I learned at school to the South African Weather Service, because there's a very strong need for people to understand climate change, especially in rural areas. So many people, they just know the word climate change, they don't understand what's going on. And I think me working here will be of great use when I go back home. I'll have a lot of people, there's a lot of women who have small gardening projects, and now they're struggling because there's no rain. If there's rain, it's floods. So they need someone who understands the climate dynamics.
Okay, Ruth, we kind of explain to you what we do in a nutshell with South African Weather Service, and we've looked at your profile in the CV. I think it will be proper if we introduce you practically in some of the tasks that we do, but we'll concentrate much on observation and weather forecasting. So we'll take you through two tasks in observation. Those tasks, it will be sunshine recorder and wind direction and rain gauge, and how we use the instrument on daily basis. The second task, we'll take you through the forecasting task. What do they do on daily basis, and we'll give you some tasks, and you have to complete those tasks, and later we'll come back and get the report back of how we have done in that task. I hope you'll excel in those tasks.
ke presentile hantle mona interviewing ya hae o apere hantle o buile hantle ene hape o tseba le selo se a buang ka sona ke rata le the fact ya gore le ha sena experience o kgonne go tlhalosa thuto e anang le yona le gore go bontsha ka nnete gore ha na le sekolong o ne a sa thiba ditsebe ene ke ntho e botlhokwa ha o ya di company money for the interview o kgonne go tlhalosa your strength point ene ra bona mona go Ruth yena strength sa hae ke theory e anang le yona go tswa go degree ya hae impa ka nako tse dingwe go a etsagala gore o thole o sena degree ha o sena yona what are you gonna do se botlhokwa se o tlamile o se lemoge go gore o tlamile gore o be involved le di-community service tsa gago o tsamaye o volunteere o thuse mole le mole o engage mo di-taskeng tse e leng gore ga o di rate because bahiri ba batla ntho e jwalo ba batla go tseba gore motho o na le maikemisetso you are a go-getter and o ambitious and o dula o ikemiseditse ka nako tsotlhe gore ga ba re mosebetsi ke yona wena you go there o kgone go createla bophelo ba hao so ka nnete o ska warishega ha o sena degree it's really not a train smash at this stage as long as wena o tseba di talent tsa gago o tseba di strong points tsa gago emphasize on those and go out there and make sure gore wa di apply gore ha so thotse monyetla tse ka Reef you can go back there and say nna talent ya ka ke ena le ena dilo tse ke di entseng ke tsena
inkinga ke ngomhlahlo wezulu noma ke izangoma zezulu iqiniso aliphelelanga kodwa sihlale sivuka mihla namalanga lena ekseni sibheka ukuthi iweather ime kanjani ukwenza isiqiniseko lentokazi sihamba namuhla nayo ifuna ukwenza isiqiniseko ukuthi le career ayithathile iyona ayifunayo necareer coach yethu imbheka ngelihlo elibovu yamadoda sebafuna ukusiceda abashanga malati ngisebenza ngeke basithinte awuthi ngithathe ikhefu bese ngiyabuya ha
Ispani Ispani, 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 Ispani.
Breaking news zabeke sibheka umhlahla wezulu ke samba nentokazi laphana eyonke into esemahlombeni wakhe njoba ke ashama task wakhe laphana eSouth African Weather Services lentokazi ke yaseLimpopo ishaya yona ke iBachelor of Science yakhe iyohamba yofaka lapha emsebenzini sisiyobona ukuthi uzowazi imihluko between ama-conference wakhe nama-high pressure system atholakala khona lapha yana ake sibone ukuthi intokazi izoqhubeka kanjani into engiyazi ukuthi isimo sezulu siyaguqubala khona la sikhona khona into enkulu ezayo ngithi vala lama window nasi storm ake sibone ukuthi iCrystal ball yami ibona kanjani lento it's like magic I'm really good yeah see that now it's gone Ku-task 1 intokazi izomele ibheke iphinde futhi ichaze indlela ezintathu zokuhlanganisa idatha. Yokuqala noma u-A iyona the Adam Young wind recorder. Esibini noma u-B iyona i-minimum and maximum temperature capture. U-C ke yena sunshine recorder.
In this task, Ruth will be assessed on her ability to identify and explain the functions of 3 different weather data capturer and recording methods: wind, temperature, and sunshine.
Ruth, these are the instruments that are used by South African Weather Service to produce a better forecast for the day and even the days to come. To start with, this is our wind mass. This wind mass we use to measure wind speed and wind direction out of it. And that top there, it's Adam Young. The Adam Young is the propeller that the wind, we measure the wind from the direction it comes from. But the propeller side, it tells you the speed of the wind, that is the speed of it, how it's blowing. Okay. This is an old method of measuring our instruments of weather service. We've got the new method that is called AWS, Automatic Weather Stations. It's done under this funnel. In this under funnel, we've got the wind sensors, temperature, wind direction, wind speed, humidity, and pressure. There. Then these things are transported from here to the computer via the cable. Okay, in weather service, wind, we measure it from the direction it's coming from. At the moment, it seems like the wind is variable, light and variable. Okay. It doesn't have a direction, but as long as the wind is, for the forecast for today, we expect the wind to be light and variable at first, but later going to be westerly winds. Probably you'll see the propeller will be facing this direction, then blowing to this way. then that's the focus for today. But for now, it doesn't have a direction because it's variable in light.
So if there's less wind, you get, it's not variable if you have less wind?
No, variable doesn't have a direction.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't have a direction, it's less.
Okay.
The more it's getting direction,
the more wind,
then
more,
you're going to get the direction it's coming from. Okay, Ruth, this is the Stephen screen. The old method that we used to record our observation and readings.
Okay.
So it's only same direction. Or no, this south position. Because it's valley direction, let's say the step temperature. The minimum, the maximum temperature. In the morning, we used to come here and take the minimum and the maximum. With that, then we can know that the temperature for today, how we're going to be like. But now, like I said, is the old way. We don't use it anymore. Now things are done automatic weather station, AWSRN.
So, can the sunny affect the temperatures? They say irrespective.
This thing, yeah, because if it's a temperature are not wrong because it's affect this thing asbestos reflect this thing in order to reflect the heat. In between this a free flow it's got disturb our readings for the day. Temperature affect but now electricity okay. Our minimum temperature at the moment is about 12.5.
Okay.
Then right 12.5. Then maximum here how it's about 27.9. 27.9. The recorder for our farmers and for our agricultural guys, about temperature for the day. Then come the statistics about every morning.
Okay, so let's say the farmers and Babatang, what the temperatures mostly?
Temperature of Sabiang, Catalusering Lavona, Bacono Holy Kata.
Oh, okay.
While a pile up for the Komutsabona for Kanakoya Mariha is efficient. Ruth, now we are going to our sunshine recorder. Okay. This is our sunshine chart. The sunshine chart, it's measuring the sunlight in a day. Then this is a magnifying glass. When the sun is hot, it hit on the magnifying glass. The magnifying glass, it bends the sun chart underneath there. Then at the end of the day, this chart in the afternoon, when the sun set, we put the new one. For the following day, So
you say it get bent more kasama because kasama there's more heat.
Sometimes in a day. Then this chart won't be bent.
Oh yeah.
Then after that, the cloud cover that's only one more. That's how it works. Okay, Ruth. Cancer listen to the Gopono at least some of things now.
Okay, the Tomaka, this thing young something at top.
Sure? I show you the young.
That's his name.
Aram Young.
Aram Young, yes. Aram Young. Romancha the wind. This thing is the propeller, itanamoki. And then if there's more wind, this young something, it will turn more. So because now there's less wind, I'm more variable, move slowly mostly. And then this one will give the new method, and then with this one, it takes the information directly to the computers, so it's automatic.
What do you still remember about Tsego?
Okay, this one, it collects temperature.
I collect. Are you sure?
It records temperature. This one records temperature. It's facing southward, because we don't want the sun to come in, not the sun, but the heat to come into it, because it's going to alter the temperature. Yeah.
Did I say about the paint?
Oh, and what the paint does is that it repels the heat from the thing, so the heat won't get in and alter the temperatures. And this one is asbestos. The top, the roof is made of asbestos, which does the same thing. It also reflects back the heat from the sun.
Yeah, okay. Ruth, could one tell us remote lying at them?
Okay, this is a gay sunshine recorder. What it does is record the amount of sunshine that we have for that particular day. What happens is, listen, like now there's cloud cover, so we won't see much. But if it was sunny, we will see this. There's little papers inside. These two papers.
What do you call it?
Okay, so what these papers do is that when it's hot, this thing's gonna bend the papers inside to show that, to record the amount of heat or sunshine.
Oh, get a bit some good on no, well, Ruthie, once I am totally feeling. Some of things can work at once. What did pila? Given enough for only fella the few points on Uri Libet fella Molimara. It's not really a train smash. Once I do Sasiranke.
I think I did well. I explained most of the things correctly, so I think I did good.
Ruth did very well mona tasking ya hae ya pele. Ena hape ho super hore motho ona ona le theory background hobane o kgonne go tlhalosa sengwe le sengwe so mentor wa hae a mo rutileng sona. Ma hustlers being responsible le gape le go ba honest ke selo se bohlokwa haholo hobane gona le moment wa hae ana mmutsisa lebitso la pampiriane ya sunshine recorder a sang a kgone go fetola gore lebitso la ena keng ana tsola pele a tlhalosa. Ha o sa tsebe selo bua e re ke lebetse gore o kgone go bontsha that responsibility and o kgone go bontsha that honesty e le ntho e leng gore ke ntho ba e batlang ko mesebetsing.
Uma sibheka ngapha kuzoba nezinga elokushisa elikhulu noma ke namathuba ke owemvula angayenzeka khona lapha yana kodwa uzothi kwaqwa ngamafu kuba nomoya omkhulu oshaya kakhulu lapha ngaku Ruth kodwa masibuya ke emva kwekhefu kuzothi kuvela ilanga khona lapha kubuye futhi kushise lebo kwi weather report ahlangane emva kwekhefu sithi toba ngamafu.
Ispani
Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in the sun. Sure, my hustlers, abantu bathanda ukukhuluma ngesimo sezulu kodwa ayikho into abangayenza ukuyishintsha kodwa lento kazisambana namhlanje yenza khona lokho njengoba ke isebenzisa i-Bachelor of Science degree yayo isebenza lapha e-South African Weather Services. Awusungitshela ukuthi kwenzakaleni ukuze kube manje into kazihambisile uyabonisa ama different recording devices lapha nokuthi abizwa ngani nokuthi uwabona kanjani. So manje ithathe yonke into ayifundile ihambe uyisebenzisa kule task yakhe elandelayo. Into kazomela ihambe yobhula isimo sezulu. Mina into engiyibhulayo ngiyabhula ngawami la mehlo ngiyabhula ukuthi le ntokazi izophumelela. Ake siqale naye sibone ukuthi uqhuba kanjani.
Okay, Ruth.
In this task, Ruth will be capturing data to predict the daily weather forecast, and she'll be tested on her interpretation of data, her attention to detail, and her recording accuracy.
Information ele bona go tla go dimukwa e tla kwano e fela ile kwano e tla mo junction box e jang for e transforma kwano e na le di minimum le maximum le our present weather ke now cast era right now ko ntle maru a ime yang go ile ka ona gore e khona focus tsa rena e khona ba pila gore in the next hour go ile lang ka maru a le so mo rongwa type ya maru e leng teng le height ya teng le type ya maru ana le difference e tre ke na le low le middle le high. Then one type ya maru a le bya go tlase go ntle le height ya teng. Then le visibility e thusang for the aviation air flyer e ba lenda go tsoro okay visibility e clear or e unclear. Then mo ke temperature le pressure wind speed wind direction with bulb ana middle cloud e leng teng go tlase re la 00 more than present weather ana weather ila so it is 0 no 0 no middle cloud no high clouds present weather is 02 I change sa tswala khala ha ona pula ni leng ha ona ntwire ileng before visibility would is over 10 kilometers re bona go tlebo then mo ke di pressure rena tse dingwa ringwa mo pampiri mo bunya rena diary for our records okay how was the weather on this day ke bona 5 then type ke 5 this thing and 4000 of height then visibility ke 70 it transform as kilometers present weather height Then pressure 851, 10, 20, 24, speedy, 2-3. No, 2-3. Then gas ticket 4.49. Okay. Then right enter information eva meter, then our outside stations liquid air potonya horba khontsuro okay mo Pretoria weather it clear at the moment. Then after that buga ena it's what information ere tlhoka mo office for, like I said, our farmers, our researchers. If any damage of hail happen or rain, or maybe insurance companies, see people okay, really on this day, our research for our insurance purposes. Okay, Ruth, display air na change at any time. It's currently so, or maybe it will be so forever. Any significant irrelevant could change. So for now, kupo we level over show lang kupo task how ebe umputso rwena o thutile eng mo this thing ka ke tlhantsere botsana di potso ka teng malwe. You can do it. No, upake direction I want it. Okay. Didn't 2.48. No, she got it.
That was a good experience, getting to see how they make daily forecast predictions. So that's what we just did right now, and it really gave me insight on the work that goes into making a forecast and the data that needs to be collected every day to make a forecast for that day and even for future predictions. I filled in everything that I needed to fill in: humidity, cloud cover, and everything related in making a forecast. So I did excellent in this task because I got all the answers correct.
No, the last task is right. Difficult. No, some of things were did pila. Netfala prominent they get wind speed direction. I don't know the chance or no. He can just get it wrong. It's alright. It was difficult anyway.
Ruth o sebeditse hantle mona tasking e hae ya bobedi. O sebeditse ka maikemisetso hape ka maemo a kgahlisang. Ene ke rata le the fact ya gore mentor wa hae na se teng go montsha gore etsa jena le jena. She really worked independently, and my hustlers gore o gone go sebetsa independently. Sa pele o tlhoka gore o gone go mamedisisa ene hape o be le kutlwisiso. Ene tseo kaofela ha di told me in the work environment di qala mo hae ha ba o neya di task mamela and take it within yourself gore o tlo di phethahatsa. And it's okay le tseleng gore bahiri ke tsona tseo ba di thabelang.
Into kasihlanganisile idatha yayo siyakwazi manje ukubhula isimo sezulu kodwa akekho umuntu ongabhula ukuthi kuzoyenzakalani uma sibuya emva kwekhefu. Ingakho mbukeli mina uhlale khona la ukhona kuzo ubone ukuthi kuzoyenzakalani uma sibuya. Ngithi khona manje stop in the name of rain before you catch a cold. Start break siyabuya.
Ispani. Ispani, 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 Ispani.
Sibuyile nomhlahla wezulu mahustlers samba naye uRuth okumele manje ayenze izinto zenzeke by gathering and capturing current weather conditions to make her first weather forecast. Ake sithembe ukuthi izulu uzovuleka ngoba kulobu kunelifu limnyama kulamathasi kadalo bawenza. Uyathandaza laphana ukuthi ilanga lithi kuvela. Sinaye laphana eSouth African Weather Services. Ngithi asithi kuye phuma langa sikothe.
In her final task, Ruth will be assessed on her interpretive ability using the data to calculate and forecast wind speed and direction.
William Simanga. I'm one of the forecasters of the South African Weather Service here in Pretoria at the National Forecasting Center. So I will be showing you the forecasting processes. So basically here what you see, it's one of the models that we are using in the office when we do the forecast. What you see in front of you here is just a lower layer of the atmosphere. So by looking at this, it does indicate that the date it's for today on Tuesday. There is a high pressure system that is sitting far west of the country. How do you see that this is an area of the high pressure system? It's because we can able to read that the pressure there is 1020, the pressure there is 1016, the pressure there is 1012, which means as you move from this center of the system, going away from this system, the pressure is falling, which means that will be the area of the high pressure system, that will be the area of the low pressure system. The air around the high pressure system will circulate anti-clockwise. Then the air around the low pressure system will circulate clockwise direction. Cold fronts are always associated with the low pressure system. So we can able to say that is the center of the low pressure system. So now we can able to move and look for Saturday and look for Sunday. It's still the same approach.
So you can say a deep low like this one is mostly associated with a cold front if the low is deep, compared to one that's quite wide.
Not necessary, but we need to look at the isobars. Okay. As soon as the isobars are not flat, they've got some sort of a kink,
that's what I mean,
which means that there is a cold front. So if you can look at this picture, we can go back and look at this picture there. You can see the kinks of the isobars there, which means that the cold front is lying there. The center of this cold front is somewhere. So the air there is cold, the air there is warm. That's how we interpret. So my task that I'm giving to you, can you do the forecast for Friday of wind direction and the wind speed for the particular area, like Gulf Island, west coast of the Republic of South Africa, Cape Town, as well as the Marion Island.
So you only want wind speed and wind direction?
Wind speed and wind direction.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with this. Okay, can I just write inside?
Okay. Okay, we're looking for a forecast of the winds of Gulf Island. Okay, we are having the wind speed of 30 knots at Gulf Islands, and then the wind direction is northerly. I think the Marion wind speed and direction is 100% correctly. Then we can move to Gulf Island. We've got the 20 knots of southwesterly winds. The southwesterly direction is correctly, but the 20 knots is not correctly, because if you can look carefully there, we've got 1, 2, then the half, meaning that is 25 knots.
Just completed task 3. The challenging part was when we had to do the wind speed with the knots, especially if you have 10 knots and it's quite difficult to know where the direction is if you only have 10 knots. So I think that was the only challenging part about the forecasting part.
It was a little bit difficult for her because I've tried to hide some of the information, trying to test whether she can able to see that there's something that is not there. But I think I'm quite happy with the way she answered.
Task 1, the expectations in the Adam Young wind recorder, minimum and maximum temperature capture, le sunshine recorder. For the Adam Young and wind recorder, ke tla mo fa bet hobane o kgonne go tlhalosa empa na sa tsebe lebitso la function eo. Minimum and maximum temperature capture ke tla mo fa good hobane o entse mosebetsi o motle o mentor wa hae na batla a o etse. For sunshine recorder again ke tla mo fa bet hobane o kgonne go tlhalosa function ya teng empa na sa tsebe lebitso la teng. Tasking ya bobedi the expectations tsa gae ne interpretation of data, attention to detail and recording accuracy. For interpretation of data ha ka nnete ke tla mo fa excellent, attention to detail excellent hape, recording accuracy ke tla mo fa excellent hobane o entse mosebetsi o motle haholo o mentor wa hae now expecta go tswa go yena. Tasking ya haya bofelo di expectations in the data interpretation, wind speed calculation, le wind direction calculation. For data interpretation ke tla mo fa excellent o sebeditse hantle. Wind speed calculation ke tla mo fa better gobane go na le data e I missitseng even though mafellong a na tseba answer ya teng. For wind direction calculation le mo ke tla mo fa excellent o yentse mosebetsi o motle haholo.
Okay, madam, how did it go?
It went very well. I got to experience the practical part of forecasting, climatology. I learned so much. At school, we did those things, but it was mostly the theory part, less practical. But today, I got to experience the practical part, and it was very interesting and very exciting.
So you now sure that this is what you want to do?
Yes, but sure.
And in terms of forecasting and observation, what did you do in observation and how did you find it?
The forecasting part was the easiest because I think we did that mostly at school. The part where we had to go outside and look at the sunrise recorder and the other apparatus that I used, it was a bit different, but it was also very interesting to get to see that side of forecasting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. The people who were taking you around was Nkushula Msimanga, who's our senior forecaster, very lucky you, and also Simon Twana, who's our chief technician. Now, we had an opportunity to sit with them and ask them, as our people internally, as to how did you do? What is their thinking around you? And this is what they told us, hoping you would like it. Okay. Nkushula tells us that he did the wind direction speed for certain areas with you, and he was very happy. He tells me you were accurate, which is good. And you also do the temps for 2 stations in the country, and he says you were average. Okay. And he says she was average because I felt she was getting everything correct. So I had to withhold information. So you were not average. Okay. You were good. You were average because he was holding information back. Okay. As according to the brief that we gave him to say, don't give her everything. Okay. Let's see how she can cope on her own. Okay. And let's see how she can apply her own mind, which is good. The satellite picture interpretation, they tell me you were very excellent. Okay, and Nkushula's overall impression of you is that you are willing to learn, which is a very great aspect of Elena. So we're happy that we did not waste our time. We brought in, allowed somebody in to come in who is dedicated, who's committed, who knows that this is an opportunity that you needed to grab. So we thank you from the corporate perspective that we believe that we have planted a seed in you, and we believe that you are going to share that seed with others and tell girl children that it's possible to be a med technician. Now, Ruth, Tsepo is going to take you through what you need to do in order to be considered by the South African Weather Service.
Ruth, we've seen your CV, we've seen your qualification, your academic record, and you've already completed your BSc. Unfortunately, all our people, especially in operation, they have to have honors first before you start. All weather forecasters, researchers, marine forecasters, climatologists, all of them, they do have honors degree. So for you now, it's just a matter of bridging those gaps. I think the best now to do it will be to wait for source to advertise the bursaries, of which most of the time it will be around April, June, somewhere there. Then you apply, and once you're successful candidate for the bursary, you have to study honors in UP, University of Pretoria, or even in UCT if you want to specialize in marine research, because you've got a marine unit. And in UP, University of Pretoria, if you want to become a researcher, climatologist, or a weather forecaster, then you have to apply for the bursary for the honors. If you're successful, you'll enroll in either UP or UCT for the honors. And again, if you make it, if you pass, then you'll be absorbed as an intern for 1 year. Then after that intern, then you can start working in weather service. I think that's the best we can offer for now.
Okay, get it.
Okay, we thank you very much for having considered our organization. We've got an open door policy. Whenever, like Seppo has already said, you want to inquire about something, please feel free to do so. We want to see as many meteorologists, scientists and researchers, doctorate in science, in black women, as many as possible. So people like you really give us courage and hope that it's possible to do it. So we hoping that you will make it as you apply for the bursary, and you'll take your studies seriously, you'll pass, and you'll be able to be absorbed into the system. We wish you all that is best.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Very much appreciated. Hi, I'm here at the South African Weather Service. I just completed my interview on all my tasks. It was a very interesting day. I learned so much. I got tasks to complete, and they were very informative in terms of climatology forecasting and everything related in weather forecast. And remember, pressa, puja, panda.
Uyazi namuhla into engiyifundile ukuthi uyazi no matter the weather kungaba nevungevunge kube nemvula empilweni yakho ukuthi wena njengomuntu kumele uzidethele ukujabula uzidethele ilanga lapha njengoRuth ayenzile izinto zakhe zimhambele kahle wona lapha ekhaya zifakela ukukhanya uvakashele lapha ku website yethu ku www.ispani.co.za noma ke usivakashele lapha ku Facebook ngithi asikhulume khona lapha ngithi nasenyonini sesiyatholakala lapho ku Twitter ngithi ufuna nje wena Ispani for sure sikhulume khona lapha follow me and I will follow you injalo lento lena mina umfana kaMtambo ngiqedile ke into kade ngizoyenza lana ngidonsa zonke intambo sengiphuma kanje ngizohlala ngokutshela ngithi pressa pusha panda lo hlelo kubulethwe yiSABC umzansi for sure let's Ispani get stealing you for sure remember don't look down look up because that's where the sun is see you next week ngiyancanya
stand up I get up Apelo moya shona kona Akubuluza shoguluza focus come on be a go getter Ashona kona stay focused